Academy, and today what we're doing here is more of a 5v5 gameplay review. So as compared to the previous videos where we do a specific review on a specific hero, this time what I'll be doing is reviewing this whole squad, or probably this whole team. And yeah, without further ado, let's see how this team performs. So number one, what I want to point out is about this team's draft picks. Getting an Akai here is good. Okay, number one, when you play with a support room such as a Matilda, Angela, or Fina, you want your junglers to be something more tankier, something like a Akai or Alpha, or even Fredrin. So Akai jungler here is really cool, but what I dislike is that by doing an Akai jungler, usually teams what they want to do is they want to prepare another hero to set the side lanes in the mid to late game. So what usually teams will draft here is usually for the goal laner they'll go for Moskov or Claude, because these are the two heroes that can really split push. Or if since in this case you have your Harif, then the EXP lane should be playing something that can split push, such as like Sun EXP, Paquito EXP, or Benedetta EXP. Could have been much better here. And also by going for those picks, it will complement that. It will complement for this team's composition physical damage. So if you take a look at this team composition, they are drafting all magic damage, and it's actually very bad. It's not the ideal draft that you want to draft, because by going for picks like this, it's very easy for the enemy team to itemize. So you will always want to have a blend of physical damage and magic damage instead of just going for pure magic damage or even pure physical damage. So these are the two biggest things that I want to point out for the draft. Okay. So I don't really like this Matilda's rotation. Okay. Number one, if you're playing on the roam, what you should be really doing is go for the Little Wanderer. So a lot of roams miss out on this. They like to go and help the goal lane in the early game. Honestly, there's no use unless you're playing Cho or Khalid. Cho or Khalid are probably the two heroes that really can pressure the enemy goal lane at such an early level. If you're playing anything else, please go to the Little Wanderer and help your jungler on the Little Wanderer. If you're playing on the higher level mythic games, and if you look at the minimap right now, usually there will always be a fight in the Little Wanderer. Even the EXP lane, if the Little Wanderer is at the EXP side, usually what the EXP laner will do is also will go for the Little Wanderer. So here, what the Matilda should do is go for Little Wanderer and not come to this top lane. Even if the Matilda is able to land his S1 or throw his passive here, honestly, it wouldn't do much to this Lunox. The Lunox will just S1 and sustain. So you need to think about the heroes that you're fighting. You need to think about what you can do. Here, really, the ideal play is go and help the Little Wanderer. So you can see that the jungler actually lost the Little Wanderer and is getting pressured by their mid lane. Just because the fact that the Matilda left the mid lane and went for the goal lane. So I'll say it's a very bad rotation from this Matilda. So what I really like here is the Harif, after clearing his lane, actually rotated to mid at level 2. So this is really a good gameplay from the Harif. Very good rotation. Applying pressure at the mid lane. So I couldn't watch what happened at bottom lane, but losing the 2v2 there is really quite bad because the turtle is spawning. So usually you wouldn't want to die early as a jungler and an EXP laner, because by dying here, probably as an EXP laner you won't get level 4 for the turtle, and then jungle dying here probably will set you behind, lose your red and blue buff, and you will definitely lose this turtle. So try to stay alive, at least get the essentials before the turtle spawns. And next question I have also is, why is the Matilda and Cecilia reacting to the bottom lane, trying to go for those kills when there's a Julian? So this rotation is very bad as well. If I'm the Matilda and Cecilian, okay, what I will do instead is I will try to go for the goal lane here. Okay, so in MLBB Basics 101, what I want to teach everyone here is try not to react to the enemy too much. Instead of reacting to the enemy, try to make trades. If the enemy is playing the bottom side, you can consider playing the top side to make a trade. If you always react to the enemy, you will always be one step slower. because you're always reacting. You're not the one setting the pace. You're not the one initiating the plays. So try to make plays by yourself instead of reacting to all these team fights. It's very unnecessary. What could have been done better is I would rather bring this as a Matilda. I will just bring this Sicilian to the goal lane and probably try and apply a bit of pressure to the Lunox and then start going for the turtle. So try not to react and try to make plays. Okay, turtle fight. Honestly, I wouldn't even suggest this turtle fight. Okay, because number 1, Sicilian is level 3. Number 2, Hylos is level 3. Number 3, the Julian is winning by 1 level against this Akai. So it's very risky to actually go for this turtle. Okay, the only reason you want this turtle here is because the Akai actually managed to steal the turtle. But what are the odds though? If you're fighting a much better team, much better jungler, and you actually lose this turtle, this whole fight will just cause your early game to lose. So it's very risky, but okay, fine, I give it to them because the Akai managed to get a turtle. Other than that, usually I wouldn't suggest going for this turtle. Okay. So you see, even getting this turtle, Akai still died because 1 level behind. And then all the teammates were not level 4. Could have been much better. Okay, rotation to goal lane, good. So here, what I like is also as a high loss, your land section left the EXP, go to the mid lane to help Sicilian. Good. Sicilian rotating to top. So if you watch higher level gameplays, there's really a lot of plays at the goal lane because, like I mentioned before in one of my videos, the goal laner now is one of the. Sorry, it's not one of the. The goal laner now is the hardest carry of your team. It's the pos 1 of your team. So if you used to play some other mobile games, you heard of terms such as pos 1, pos 2, pos 3, pos 4, pos 5. So pos is like the number of priority that should be given to that role. So the goal laner now is pos 1, which means that it's the highest priority. It's the target that will carry you in your late game. That will carry the hardest in the game. Pos 2 usually will be the jungler, and pos 3 will be the mage. Then pos 4 EXP, pos 5 roam. But in this case, since the jungler is a tank jungler, so the pos 1 is the Harif and the pos 2 will be the Sicilian. So yeah, I think the main point here is really that because the goal laner is the pos 1, so everyone is really playing the goal lane nowadays. So I think mechanical wise, the teammates are Lens team is very good. Like all the mechanics are on point, that's why they're winning the team fights. But what I really dislike about this team composition is that there really isn't anyone to deal with split push. So if the Julian actually starts to split push, they don't have an answer to that. So there's a reason why people pick assassins to split push, because number 1, they clear the wave fast. They have damage to clear the wave. Number 2, as an assassin jungler, it's relatively hard to catch him. And so whenever he's split pushing, it's hard to actually catch an assassin. And number 3, as an assassin jungler, if you're split pushing, if any team fight were to occur, an assassin jungler is usually very mobile. So he's able to travel from the split pushing lane to the team fight in probably a few seconds as compared to other heroes. So if you're playing something like an Akai jungle, definitely you're not going to do the split push because number 1, you clear the wave very slowly. Number 2, if a team fight were to occur, it will take you like 10,000 years to walk into a team fight. So I would say team fighting here is good for Lens. Lens is winning on a team fight, so what we really want to avoid is the split push. So yes, this is what I'm talking about. You see here, when the Julian starts split pushing, there really isn't anyone to answer the split push. And it will just cause the team to be very lost. So here, probably in Lens team's point of view, is like, hey, who's going to answer split push? Who's going to go to the top lane? Are we all going to go to the top? Are we all going to go for the Julian? So the answer is no. Okay? Back to the point where I was mentioning, in MLBB Basics 101, do not react to the enemy. Okay? What you have here now, after taking this turtle, is that if you look at the mini-map, there's a bottom minion wave pushing into the bottom tier 2 tower. What you want to do here is to trade the towers. You want to go for the bottom tier 2 tower, try and get some kills, and really just ignore the Julian, trade for the towers. Maybe one of them could have defended the top, but definitely not all should go. So either the Akai or the Sicilian should go for the top lane, okay? The rest should be staying at the bottom lane. So there should be 4 of you guys at bottom lane, not only the 2, not only Hylos and Harif. So the Matilda definitely number 1 shouldn't be going to the top lane. He does nothing at the top lane. And from bottom to walk to top lane, it takes really quite long. So what I really suggest here is the Matilda to stay at the bottom lane, Hylos stay at bottom lane, Harif stay at bottom lane, and probably Sicilian. Here we should just let the Akai recall and let the Akai deal with the Julian. Whereas the 4 of you guys should stay bottom and take the bottom tier 2 tower. So you see it suddenly gets very messed up because everyone is trying to go for the Julian, everyone is starting to be lost, and then now everyone has left these Hylos and Harif alone. And since you guys are alone, then naturally the enemies will be coming for you, going for you guys. And you can see that this team fight isn't... Okay, fine. I mean, his team still got the kills because I would say that their players' mechanics are better and the enemy isn't really that good, I would say. Yeah. So what this Julian should have done also is this Julian should have continued split pushing. He shouldn't have entered the team fight. If I'm this Julian, I would have went top lane instead of bottom lane. So same thing, try not to react to the enemy. If I'm a Julian, I won't be reacting to this team fight. I will be going to the top lane and continue split pushing. Then I will cause pressure at the top lane so that Lance team will feel that, oh shit, he's split pushing again. Who's going to deal with the split push? Who am I going to send? And then it will cause a very... It will cause a problem to this team. Better than this Julian join a team fight now. Then he will just be a free kill. He'll be like... Then Lance team won't feel any pressure at all. So, what I want to really point out here is, as a Julian, or even as an assassin jungler, if next time you were to face team compositions that can't split push, go and split push more. Don't join the team fights. What Lance team now is they want a team fight. And what this Julian is doing is that they are giving them the team fights. So if I'm the enemy team, if I'm in the rape team, what I want to do is I want to avoid these team fights. I want to split push more. Instead of giving the blue team what they want, giving them the fights that they want. So yeah, I really think that the biggest problem about this team composition is no one handling the split push. Other than that, it's perfectly fine. And I really don't like how this Julian is playing. He's not split pushing at all. This is why Lance team is having a good time, because this Julian, if I'm him, I would have just stayed bottom lane. Sorry. So if you look at the mini-map now, Julian actually has the opportunity to just split push the bottom all the way. If you have no idea why he isn't doing that and he's just joining team fights when he shouldn't be. So this Julian is actually giving them the team fight that they want. This is why Lance team is just snowballing through team fights after team fights. So proper gameplay is assassin jungler, really go and split push, create disturbance, create map pressure instead of joining team fights. So yeah, I think that's about it. Really nothing much to talk about this game. I think the team fights are all very one-sided because so naturally when you draw something without an assassin, your team fights will be better. Okay, because you don't have an assassin and all your heroes are more suited for team fights. So naturally your team fighting is better. Okay, wait, let me try and just review this team fight since it's a team fight they just lost. Okay, what happened here was trying to go for Lugov. Oh, Matilda got caught out. So honestly, if the Matilda is out of position like this and he got caught off guard by the enemy, got picked off by the enemy, what I'll do here is really just let him die. Okay, because you should know that the enemy has 5 of them. Okay, because they are not showing on the map. You need to assume that they have 5. And if you look at the mini-map, the Sicilian is still in base. Akai is still doing his... Akai has just done his purple buff. What I suggest is really leave this Matilda to die instead of doing a 3v5. So if you help this Matilda here, like how you guys are helping, entering this 3v5, it's very bad. Okay, So try not to do outnumbered fights, even though it's a one-sided game. Always try to avoid outnumbered fights. Try to fight on an equal ground, or even outnumbering the enemies. So number actually plays a very big part in team fighting. You need to identify how many heroes you have, how many heroes the enemy have. Try to fight on at least an equal footing. If not, don't fight. Wait for your numbers to come, wait for allies to come, then start the fight. So yeah, I really don't like how this Julian is pushing. It's not a good gauge of how this game should be played. If I'm the Julian now, I'll be split pushing the top lane. And then Lance will be like, oh shit, how am I going to deal with the Julian? Who am I going to send to deal with the Julian? So this Julian needs to split push more. That's how it should be played. But this Julian is taking with the team too much. So I would say the enemy is really bad. Okay. You see, this Julian is just entering team fights, giving free kills. It's quite stupid to do that. So yeah, game has ended. What I really want to talk about here is try to always account for split pushing, have someone to do with the side waves. This draft is really not that ideal. Number one, there's no one doing the side waves. Number two, it's all magic damage. So yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys learned something. If you guys are looking for some coordinated gameplays, or you guys want to learn something, you guys want to learn more, sorry, the video got cut off. So if you guys want to learn something, more information, more tips, more advices, do join our Bond Squad, okay? So the Bond Squad will provide the link in the YouTube description. So if you want to find players to have coordinated gameplays, or you need more tips or advices, DM me directly. Do click the Telegram link below and join the squad. So hope you guys learned something today. Goodbye.